Hello and welcome to Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and today we're going to take a look at my hopes and predictions for the Xbox Showcase 2023. I'm rolling this in with the Starfield Direct. It's all kind of just one show to me. I know it isn't, but it kind of is. So that's what I'm sort of rolling with for this one. This is part 2 of the first one, which I'll link at the end of this. We did a bit more of a deep dive of franchises that Xbox has announced things, or things that we know are in the works that we haven't had released or heard of recently. So that's something to watch if you haven't seen it already. I expect some of you will have done. But I wanted to do, and this is really my hopes. It's also a combination of quite a few of the things that we've talked about on the channel recently, with my just bewilderment with Xbox at the moment. As an Xbox main, I've been in the Xbox ecosystem since January 2002. It has been my main console since then, and I love Halo, I love Gears, I love Fable, I love a lot of the Xbox first party franchises. A lot of them we don't see anymore, which is sad. But I thought, instead of just doing the bog standard predicting this, I did quite a few predictions on the first video. This is more, just my 5 hopes, really. Some of them will probably be a bit more aware of the situation and a bit more informed than the crazy ones. I don't know. I'm just, if anything on this list gets seen, I'll be very happy. If they tease, if they tell us, even if they say, oh, by the way, this is happening, and we don't see anything, but they say it's happening, I'll still get excited. That's where I stand with this. Ideally, this showcase tomorrow, and we're going to do a live reaction, so come back round, there is a scheduled stream up. But ideally, this is going to be Xbox showing what's actually going to be releasing in the next 6 to 12 months, as well as a few teasers. But this is just, as a fan, as a long-time fan, this is what I want to see, and kind of what I need to see to get excited about the Xbox brand again. We're going to start with Gears 6. So the rumour is the Coalition have dropped everything to start it. If it's true, it needs to be announced here. The problem is, Gears 5 ended with a certain choice that changes the story depending on the player's actions. I have no idea how they would factor that in. I have no idea why they did that, and I kind of hate the idea of my personal choice being ignored for my continuation of my character story. Looking at you, Mass Effect 3. So I don't know how they'd fix it, and I think that the next Gears game will be a mainline Gears game. It will be Gears 6, so they have to continue the story somehow. But honestly, I kind of miss the old days. I love Kate, I love JD, Del was alright, and I liked the sort of veteran, older vibe of Baird, Cole, and Marcus. But I really want to play as Marcus again. I really want to, even if it's Old Man Phoenix, I'll take it. I would love, I know they did the, it's not a remake, is it? It's a remaster of Gears. I'd love the whole trilogy to get that treatment. It's, what is it, 18 years? No, 17 years since the first Gears came out, maybe. We've got to be coming up on some kind of anniversary of Gears 2. In fact, I think it's just passed. But they're games that just deserve so much love, and they were so iconic in the 360 era, and I hark back to the 360 era a lot. For me, that was the golden age of console gaming, the 360 era. And the 360, to be honest. But I think that while they've tried to move the story on, and I admire that, it's lost something with us not having the original crew. And obviously Dom is not really able, but we haven't. I want the old gang back together. Alright, and maybe I'm living in the past, but I want the old gang back together. Even if it's a complete ground up remake of the first 3. I'd be happy with that. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the Gears trilogy. Throw in Judgment. Oh, it'd be so good. But outside of the mainline games, I'd also love to see a Gears Tactics sequel. Really enjoy that game. It ties in very nicely into the lore and the story of the main games, while being a separate entity. And it played so well. It was so much fun, and I do like those sort of top-down isometric stuff. Really fun, really fun. I think I'm gonna have to play that for the channel, you know. And Gears works for that sort of tactical-based, squad-based stuff. Really works for Gears. So if I don't get a Gears 6, I'll take a Gears Tactics 2. Not asking for much here, am I? You're gonna see how these predictions go. Next one. I've already mentioned this in the intro. Fable. Fable needs to go back to its roots in terms of setting. True fantasy. Focus on the Middle Ages type weapons. I don't want black powder guns. That's what we have fireball spells for. I want a big world to explore, maybe a base, be it the Heroes Guild or a keep of our own that we can return to pick up missions, maybe level up. I kind of like being able to level up on the fly, and I think that, I mean, RPG games as a whole have enabled that. So being restricted, not able to level up in the middle of a quest is kind of a downer. But if they wanted to bring the flair of the original, I'd be okay with it, I guess. But definitely some sort of focal area where you can maybe even level it up, and heroes can be there, and you can interact with other characters, picking up side quests, missions, maybe build a story around it as well. The romance was a fairly big thing in the first Fable games as well. I think it was one of the first games where certainly I got married. I mean, I was too young, but still. And it's just the whole ecosystem and the whole civilization, the villages, all of that. If you could build a keep and it would bring them in and NPCs in, and that would be really cool. Not necessarily base builder. I don't want to build it stone by stone, but being able to level up a keep would be quite a cool addition. Basically, this is confirmed to be at the showcase, I think. There was a tweet that showed the beautiful Fable music and the camera following a trail of dust. I linked it in the other video, or we showed it in the other video. That music just made me think of the original game. The original Fable, we played it recently on the Top Plays Games channel. The music, the world, everything about the first Fable game is just incredible. Bring us back to that. Also, the voice cast. While I hope it's much more varied than the 12 or 15 people who did NPC voices, keep it the same. It was so stereotypically British. It was basically just Monty Python-esque humour. Oh, it was so... It's just a beautiful experience, and it's such an individual world. There's nothing else like Fable, the first game. There's nothing. There's no other games that are doing that same thing to me. Not in that style, not in that way. The charming graphics, yes, they look dated now. Everything about it was just beautiful. I really hope that this game delivers. I'm so terrified. I can talk about the setting and things, what I want. The toughest thing for me to talk about is the combat. I don't know how they're going to do a combat system. The Hellblade combat system is really nice. It's more sort of dodging and parrying. I don't know how you'd work spells in and things like that, or ranged weapons. But something like that with I mean, even like the earlier Assassin's Creed kind of parry, dodge, maneuver. The idea of Fable is you're up against hordes of lesser enemies, and you're a big tough hero. That's how the game sort of works in my head. So we need a good combat system, something that's more than just button mashing. That's a problem for Playground Games to figure out, I guess. But so I don't know how they do that. But that's the only bit that's lacking in the original Fable. Otherwise, I'd be happy to play the original Fable again if it wasn't for the combat system. Oh, it's just such a fun game. I have so many fond memories of it. God, I hope there's gameplay. There better be gameplay. And a dog. Dog was the best thing about Fable 2. Yeah, so some sort of keep that you level up, or Heroes Guild that you level up, interaction with other heroes, exceptionally British NPCs, Monty Python humour, really good combat system, definitely showing gameplay at the showcase, and a dog. I don't want much from this game, do I? Next one I'm loath to talk about. It's in here as this is a hope. Halo Infinite. This is such a tough one for me. And I'm doing it here because the next prediction kinda links in with this. This is the first showcase from 343. They're expected to be there, let's be honest. This is the first case since all the layoffs and the exodus of some key names in January. I'm talking Joseph Staten here. He's now left Xbox as a whole, which is a shame. There's also been rumours of massive changes to development, so for me, this showcase, 343 need to bring the goods. I want campaign DLC. I want to continue Chief's story from where they left it. I still haven't talked about Halo Infinite purposefully. I still haven't played it since my first playthrough purposefully. I don't like the ending. I really don't like the ending. I don't like a lot of the campaign, actually. The gameplay is amazing. I have issues with the story, but I do need to go back and play, so that's not me giving you my final thoughts. I'm probably going to change my mind when I replay it again. But we need to know what happens next. We need to know that there is a future for Chief. That's what we need to know. As Halo fans, we deserve to know at this point. So much up in the air. I also want my beloved firefight mode to be confirmed coming to Infinite. They've done so much stuff in the arena, multiplayer based stuff. They've done Forge. Great. Forge has gone down really well. There's so many new maps. Now give us co-op fans something to play. Please. There was a Halo lore drop on the 31st of May hinting about Chief and the weapon at the end of Halo Infinite. There was another one a couple of days ago, I think Friday just gone, talking about the Guardian ships. Now there is a Guardian on the Halo Infinite ring. In fact, the story's ignored everything else that's happened with the Guardians. God, they really fumbled the ball. I'm taking that as within the time frame that they're releasing it, they're hinting at some sort of campaign DLC to be shown off. Not necessarily gameplay. I don't need gameplay. I know how good the gameplay is. I just want to know that it's happening. I want to know that there's a future for this game. This isn't a segment where I rag on 343 again, because that's all I seem to do at the minute. But honestly, we need a continuation of Chief's story. That is the big thing. Chief effectively is the mascot for the Xbox brand. He's a huge part of why Xbox is still here. The Halo series is, and it needs to be handled with the care and attention that a mascot deserves. You don't see Mario getting fumbled like this. Honestly, I think we're more likely to get an announcement of a new game in Unreal 5 than any kind of campaign DLC, which makes me sad. Damn, this game has not delivered, and 343 are... well, I feel like they've failed the fanbase for the second game in 10 years. One guarantee, I think, is multiplayer Season 4. It's due to drop in about a week, in about 10 days' time. So we're definitely going to see that. I mean, is it enough? Not really for me. I'll take any update on any Halo game, and I'll get a warm feeling inside when I see Halo, because I always do. I'm just so let down with 343 that anything they say isn't going to be enough unless it's already something that I've mentioned. That said, Infection will be really cool. Loads of fun. I hope that I can get a fight team together to play it as well, because it's just a really good game mode where you can sit back, have a few beers and play with friends. And the new career system really gives me an actual reason to spend time in multiplayer. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into that and playing some of that. Hopefully it's all going to be working as intended. I'm sure it will. I do, from a technical and a fixing the game like sort of situation, 343 are very good. They turned Master Chief Collection around. Halo 5 has issues with the campaign. The multiplayer, I always thought, was very fun, and there was a lot of content. So I'm happy with how they can continue a game once they've fixed it. The problem is they need to fix it first, and there's still issues with Infinite over 18 months on. But let's look at the positive. What would get me really excited? So we have a little Halo Infinite section, and they talk about the multiplayer, and they run the minute-long trailer of Season 4. And then the screen goes black. and then we get a Halo Wars 3 trailer. I would love a Halo Wars 3. Halo Wars 2 ended on such a cliffhanger that still hasn't been addressed. It ties into Infinite so well. The Spirit of Fire can perfectly be pulled into the current Halo timeline, linking Cutter and the crew of the Spirit of Fire with Chief and the search for Infinity, and Lasky and Halsey and Blue Team reuniting with the Red Team. That would be amazing. Or any other studio making a Halo game. I don't think it will happen. In fact, I'm fairly certain it won't happen. But I'd love to just see something else, something new in the Halo world for me to get excited about. Next one. Whatever InXile are working on. So I loved Wasteland 3. I do want to play it for the channel. I played it on console when Wasteland 3 first came out. Boy, it was rough. My console, it was an Xbox One, a day one Xbox One, and I was playing it just before, well, I think it released about 6 months before the Series X came out. God, my console could not run that game. I've never known that with any other Xbox One game. Just did not like it. Absolutely did not like it. But I had an absolute blast. It is something that we're going to play on Top Plays Games, but I'd love to see what they're working on. I think whatever they're doing is pretty secret. We know that they must be working on something. I'd happily take a Wasteland 4 or another game in the Wasteland world. That'd be really cool. Or what if it's a Halo squad shooter? Like a Halo skinned Wasteland game, and you can call it ODST 2, and you can get Alpha 9 back together. Oh no, I've just got myself hyped for something I'm never going to see. Oh, way to burst my own bubble. My final one, final hope. This one is really simple, because we know we're going to see it. We know that Starfield is getting a huge info drop. My hope is that they deliver on the deep space exploration, the ship, weapon, character customization. This game has the potential to be the space RPG that I've always wanted. And I really hope it hits the ground running and it really gives Xbox fans and Bethesda fans, like me, something to get excited about and to enjoy at launch, not have to wait 6 months for major bug fixes and game stabilization patches. I'm ready to give in to the hype for this one, but I'm so worried it's not going to deliver. Maybe this is the game that sets us back on the right track. We'll find out just after the Xbox showcase what crazy things Todd and the team have got planned for us at launch. And I'm so here for it. I am so looking forward to September. I am going to play a load of Starfield, whatever state it's in. I just hope that it delivers. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to seeing at the Xbox showcase, and obviously the Starfield Direct as well. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.